Hello, Africa. My name is Eunice Tony, and this is ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. If you're just tuning in, we are live on Facebook at ETV Ghana. So if you've not gone there before, today should be your first time. And please tell other people who are not able to sit by their TV sets to just log on to ETV Ghana to be able to watch us live. So who have you been crushing on? Because Wednesday is known to be Women Crush Wednesday. So who have you been crushing on? We need you to send in those pictures. Anyway, we got some of them, and we want to say a very big thank you to all of you who sent in your entries about the people you are crushing on and what makes you crush on them. And we say keep up the good work. I'll be taking you over to the 60 seconds update segment, but before I go there, I usually would like to acknowledge my sponsors. First on the list is Voltic. Voltic is my hydration partner, so whenever you think of water, we need you to think Voltic, okay? And my beautiful costume is beautifully provided by Afariwa Styles. You can locate Afariwa Styles on Instagram at afariwa.styles. She's also on Facebook at afariwa.styles. The beautiful thing about Afariwa is that she keeps improving on her services. Whatever it is you request, she'll ensure that the next time you come, she has added it onto the list. When people ask for delivery services, Afariwa provided it. Afariwa also provides ladies and gents contemporary wears, and they are ready-made. So once you walk into Afariwa Styles, you definitely will find something that will fit you immediately. It's not about come today, come tomorrow to pick up your items. No, they are already made. You can also find Afariwa Styles physically at Teshi and also at Osu. So if you want to see it physically, you will find Afariwa at Osu and at Teshi, where we have her around the container bus stop. So look out for her. All right, we also have Lizzie's tomato mix, where we say that your cooking will taste definitely better with Lizzie's tomato mix. With Lizzie, you can cook your delicious jollof rice, groundnut soup, light soup, vegetable soup, whatever it is that you have to cook with any kind of tomato mix. Just try it, Lizzie. And those who have used it always testify that it has really improved their cooking. Chana Shito is Ghana's #1 pepper sauce, and whenever you use Chana Shito on your meals, it tastes really delicious. So you just check it out. You got your water, Voltic, when you want to, have your meal, and then you have delicious tomato mix from Lizzie. And then you also have your Chana Shito. So whatever it is you're combining with these 3 items, it will definitely come out so well. Chana Shito, wow, thank you so much for making Ghana proud in what you're doing. So I'll be taking you right now over to the 60 seconds update segment, where we'll bring you something really special. And that special thing is about the First Lady of Ghana. She celebrated quite recently her birthday, and ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show decided that we were going to honor her with this. So you watch out for it.
My mission is to help provide a better life for women and children, but I cannot do this alone. The Rebecca Foundation needs the help of everyone.
March 12, 2021 marked the birthday of Ghana's First Lady, Her Excellency Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo. To celebrate Rebecca Day, ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show is sharing with Ghana and the world how the First Lady, through the Rebecca Foundation, is changing the lives of women and children across the length and breadth of Ghana. In 2017, she signed an exchange program deal with Laikang District Experimental School in Qingdao, China. She launched Learning to Read, Reading to Learn project in 2018. Also in 2018, she launched Because I Want to Be project to cushion underprivileged girls in Ghana to guarantee continuous education and skills training. In 2019, she built and commissioned a new Pediatric and Intensive Care Unit (PICU) at Kolebu Teaching Hospital. She also launched Free to Shine campaign in 2019 to stop mother-to-child AIDS transmission in line with Organization of African First Ladies Against HIV and AIDS. The same year, she presented 6 ambulances to a cross-section of healthcare organizations to enhance their service delivery. She launched Save the Child, Save the Mother project, established both a mother and baby unit (MBU) and a pediatric intensive care unit (PICU) at Komfo Anochi Teaching Hospital, sponsored by CATH and Multimedia Group, supported by Minsha Palace and Government of Japan. The foundation also donated hospital beds to Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Ridge Hospital and 37 Military Hospital to increase capacity to manage intake of COVID patients. For her immense contribution towards the fight against malnutrition, she was honored by the African Leaders for Nutrition. She also won the Excellence in Empowering Women and Children Award at the Africa Public Sector for her outstanding contribution to women's health and efforts in Ghana and across Africa. She is an installed queen. Rebecca was named the Development Queen Mother of the Adan Traditional Area during the 82nd anniversary celebration of the Asafotufiam Festival in 2019. Her stool name is Nana Ode Opio Kabuki I. Happy birthday, Mama Rebecca. Ghana Mbesiafo na Mbrofaba Dawase. Afishiapa.
And you're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. So for bulk purchase, if you want to get your Lizzie's tomato mix, I'd like to give you a phone number that you can call. And that is 050-140-1085 or 033-2095-314. Right, so I'll be going for a very quick commercial break. When we return, we're going to be discussing what it is that we want to really delve into today. But before we go there, remember that I actually asked you questions around domestic violence, and that is because quite recently we've heard so many stories around it. It's like it died down somehow, and then all of a sudden within 2 weeks, we've heard so many cases and things keep coming up. So for that reason, ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show said we need to add our voice and ensure that the awareness is better created. And if people who are victims need justice, we also need to support them in that cause. So I'm going to be introducing my beautiful guest when I return from this quick commercial break. So I need you to sit right back as we will return. Do stay tuned. You're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. If you just joined us, well, you're not late because we're about to delve into the conversation better. And today we're going to be dealing with domestic violence and seeking justice for the victims. So let me just give you a recap, or let me just take us back to what domestic violence actually is. And it's a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that is used by one partner to gain or maintain power and control over another intimate partner. It can be physical, it could be sexual, emotional, economic, psychological, or even a threat. We have had mostly non-fatal cases with pockets of fatal ones, but over the past decades, fatal domestic violence is on the increase. As we speak, there are very recent cases here in Ghana that are in the court, so we are waiting to see what the courts get to say after litigation is over. But these recent cases actually led to an uproar from Ghanaians, because Ghanaians felt like enough is enough. We really have got to put an end to what is going on. We heard about one lady called Lillian, who is in East Legon. And I mean, right now as we speak, there's a hashtag, you know, that's like justice for Lillian. We also heard about a case of somebody who had a contract with the Youth Employment Authority. The contract is over anyway because there's a press release to back that up. So for those of us who feel he still works there, he doesn't work there anymore, there's an official statement that it was a contract and it's actually over. So right now they've handed the case over to the court. We also heard about a certain man who beat his girlfriend to death over 15 Ghana cedis. And the case was that he gave the lady 185 Ghana cedis to keep, and then when he asked for the money back, she gave him 170, meaning she had spent 15 Ghana cedis. So for what reason would you beat a lady over 15 Ghana cedis to cause her death? So Ghanaians and Africans and the world is actually saying, look, we really have got to put this to an end. So to that effect, ETV Ghana decided we're going to bring very beautiful brains, you know, that would help us talk about the, talk about the whole situation. And today we're going to be having a musician. She's an influencer, and she's also an activist when it comes to social issues. And aside that, she's really an educated person. She's a midwife. So I'd like all of us to do the, the way we actually welcome our guests. Ayanna Rayne, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next to Ayanna is another dynamic lady who is very active on social media as well. If you go on her page, you're really going to like the pictures that you find there. Very beautiful ones indeed. You will hardly believe she's a lawyer, she's a gender activist, you know, and she's an entrepreneur. And there are so many other things that actually stand out with this lady. And we said she's also one person that we would like to talk to us about the conversation today. So you're so, so welcome, Martina. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So let's just say, people seem to really know about domestic violence because, I mean, we've been talking about it over and over and over again. Today, we are sitting here. We gave a recap telling people that because of the recent cases, we are talking about it again. But let's just talk within ourselves as ladies.
Yeah.
Why do you think we should talk about this again?
Can I speak?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So we should, because it looks like it's going nowhere, you know, and I think that it's because this time somebody died. That's how come we are hearing about it. But I have this feeling that a lot more people are going through worse things in relationships. They are being beaten up. A lot of women are losing their self-worth, you know, because it's not just about being beaten up, you know. The whole thing about abuse, it could be emotional, it could be sexual, it could be financial. It's a whole package on its own. So maybe you might be listening to us. No, the man is not beating you up, but he says things to you. He's able to insult you in front of people. Like, he's able to say certain things, degrade you so much that now you have lost your self-worth. Like, you feel like, oh, I am nobody. Like, you're like, hey, this life, you know, people have gotten to that extent. So I think we need to talk about it and talk about it until we see.
About it.
Yeah, and keep talking about it till we see that something is changing.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the legal point of view, would you want to say something about the reason why we have to keep talking about it? Whether or not, you know, people don't want to listen, we just have to keep talking about it.
Yes. The risk factor, we have to talk about it.
Okay.
Because it goes beyond just an ordinary abuse case. Like the instance of the Lillian case, there is death. And nobody is entitled to take the life of another. So I think along the path, we'll go more into the rights of every individual and why nobody has the liberty to take away another person's right. Yeah.
Awesome. So someone will say, why are you guys trying to make it look like women are the only ones that suffer, you know, abuse? Because just earlier on today, we actually saw something on social media, and this time around, a man was the victim. In Delta State in Nigeria, a woman hacked her husband to death because she suspected him, you know, of having extramarital affairs. So this one is pregnant, and she had the heart to be able to hack her husband to death. So it means that men actually are suffering this, and we don't want to say you're not. But the thing is, the program actually targets women. So today we are going to really be delving into what's happening around women. And statistics show that women actually are the ones suffering more when it comes to domestic violence. So we're not saying it doesn't happen to you men, but today we are looking at how it's affecting women. So let's give it like a personality now. How do you think we are able to identify an abuser and a victim? Because it's like you see someone, he looks like a gentleman, and then before you know it, you hear stories about the person doing certain things. Martina, could you start?
To identify an abuser, sometimes it's not written in the face, on the face, because it's character. It goes to character of a person. Like you said, a person may look so gentle, so calm, but then possess that character of a lion. At that moment when they zero into that fierce state, something consumes them. What goes into their thought process? And so it's not just, there are people you can see, they look aggressive, but they may not necessarily even be abusers. So you may be pointing wrong in the direction if you look at just facial expression. So you look at it totally, the conduct of the person. This is what the law like to look at, the conduct of the person. So that if your conduct is inherently depicting that how you treat me is telling of who you are, because the law guarantees that every person have right to live. every person should have that peace, every person have that liberty, every person must be treated with dignity. So how you treat somebody within the parameters of what I have mentioned is the issue. So over the years, like you said, there has been cases, reports of domestic violence. And it's global, not just in Ghana. It's a global issue. And so constant and continued effort have gone into this discussion. Laws have been passed to this effect. So as we speak, we have Domestic Violence Act. And it defines what a domestic violence means in a domestic relationship. Most of the domestic cases that come about happen within this determinant. So for instance, the law guarantees that your life is free and you should go about your activities without any interference, without any hindrance whatsoever, and in peace. And I'm supposed to do the same. And so any act of yours which interferes with mine, which poses a threat of harm to me, or any act of yours with your intention of creating or causing harm towards me, becomes an abuse in the domestic setting. So they establish the definition of what is domestic relationship amongst family, husband and wife, relatives. You could have somebody live with you. It could be amongst not married couples, but any ordinary relationship at all. So any act of yours that poses threat to me, any act of yours, whether omission to act, purposely directed at creating this kind of creating any form of hardship towards me, psychological, emotional, any act that you undertake intending to physically hurt me, these are not in proper line of the liberty that has been guaranteed under the law. And for that matter, the law has provisions for when such things arises, what the victim must do. So I think...
all right. So still on how to identify an abuser and a victim, I hear cases like if you see an abuser, he always does not want to have the victim stay close to friends or family members. He's domineering. He tries to make the lady feel inferior. Like, these are some of the things that you notice about the person that makes you identify that this is an abuser. Do you agree with that?
I agree, because usually those of us who are outside will not see, for example, if there's a husband and a wife living in a house, usually the partner who abuses the victim is a really, really nice, he's super nice to other people. So usually the person who is able to identify an abuser is the victim. Because usually you are usually for a targeted person. So he doesn't do it to everybody. The person he wants to treat that way is maybe his wife. You know, so outside he's all nice and sweet with everybody, so that when that victim comes to complain that my husband does it, people are like, are you
That's
sure?
not true.
It's not true. You know, so usually it's the victim who is able to identify, and what you're saying is true. That's what usually they do. They make sure that the people will not have a chance to speak to other people. You know, and as I was saying, the emotional part, psychologically, he brings you so low. You are so scared of your own husband. It's like when you hear that your husband is home, then the woman will start shaking. Yeah, because she's afraid of something. So usually it's the victim that can really identify that child.
Because mostly they conceal it from the public, like she said, because they wouldn't want anybody to have an idea of who they are. So it's only the one who feels that can tell who the person really is. But it's difficult to even convince other people to accept that this person is an abuser, because they are able to carry themselves so well, even at work. Their relationship with other people outside the home or the domestic environment is such that you can never be able to fathom that this person can do that.
Interesting. So do we have any legal option? Like, let's say, for instance, what are the legal resources available for victims?
So your first call when it comes to abuse is the police.
Okay.
And the law says it doesn't matter whether the slap was just once or whatever it is. The first attempt, report. Report to the police. The police will take your complaint and then arrest the person. Because the law has made it such that there's a presumption that in that case you need help. So the police have been made your first point of help. Other than that, you can talk to a person, depending on what situation you were in. The violence may be such that you cannot even be the one to report. So the law allows that somebody else close to you can report, because maybe due to the state, you have immediately been taken to the hospital. So somebody can report to the police. When you make a report, the police is supposed to assist you get medical attention, because we are talking of violence, we are talking of abuse. So you are in a state that you need help medically. But they may determine, depending on what you report actually, because if it's a slap and you don't need to go to the hospital, then a medical report will not be created for you. But if it is such nature that, let's say, rape, sexual assault, and physical abuse, you are bruised all over, then it means that you need to seek medical help.
And the police will help you with
and
that?
Yes, the police have to give you medical reports so that you take it to the hospital. And the law provides that if in such circumstances, the medical care is supposed to be free.
Okay.
Because it is a conscious effort towards helping abused persons. Because there's a presumption that in that state you are helpless. And so the law must come in to give you the care that you need.
Okay.
So the police have been mandated to, in the abuse cases, prepare the reports, the medical reports. Sometimes they assist you, depending on your condition, assist you to the hospital for the examinations to be undertaken. And then, depending on the situation you are in, it means that they have to go a step further with your protection, because we wouldn't want the same abuse to happen to you again. So there's something we call protection order. So a protection order will be applied for on your behalf, or you can apply for the protection order. And then this order is supposed to, one, remove you from where you were when the abuse took place. In the cases where it is such nature that you cannot live under the same roof environment condition with that abuser. So they have to remove you. You will get police protection to where the place of abode, wherever the incidents happen, to take your belongings so that you'll be put at a safe place. In the event that they leave you, this may occur again. And your life is important to the state. And so these are the steps further that they can go. Or the protection order will be for that person. There are instances where you may not live with the abuser, but the person comes to do that to you. For instance, a baby daddy, or because it's not all the cases where the abuser is they are married. There was a reported case in the news, for instance. They were not married.
They were not married, yes.
So you should know that they may not always be living together. So then the person will be restrained from coming to you, because they wouldn't want the person to come to you and inflict more harm to you. So a conscious effort to restrain that person, but in the likelihood that you are living together, then you will be removed.
Amazing.
And yes, you will be removed from the environment.
So this goes to say that if you're someone who is suffering any form of abuse, you really need to make a report. A lot of us are not making the report, and that's the reason why we find ourselves in the situation we find ourselves. Sometimes we're not making the report for reasons that we're going to be discussing right after this commercial break, so do not go anywhere. Stay tuned. welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. So I'm going over to our Facebook page to acknowledge some of you who are there. And thank you so much for always holding us down. I see Manasi Kwafu. He says, super celebration of First Lady, super show. I see Efia Praba. She says, great topic. Laurentia Timabwating, good. Mamia Buna Sapuma. She says, nice one. Asabia Gloria, I'm enjoying this. Angela Abba. Go Tena. And then I also see Ajwa Jifa Edu Dade. She says, nice topic. I'm loving it. And then Ifia Prabha comes back again and she says, women rising. And she's showing, you know, the fire. Everywhere is so lit. I see Augustine Stunner Kluje. Says, go Tina. Another person, Asabia Gloria. Ayanna, big ups. Ayanna. All right, and I see a whole lot of you, and then I see people sending in their waves. I see Sairam Nutako. He says, good job, lawyer Akusika. Another one, Sarah Safonelli, says, my lawyer. Ekemini Ben says, interesting. Angela Abba says, great work, Sika. Thank you all so much. And I see the international waves. I see from Tokyo. I see from Bangkok. I see from China. I see a wave from Togo. I see a wave from Abuja. And I see from Morocco as well. Thank you all so much. And then within Ghana, I see from Tamale. Tamale is always topic when it comes to those who are actually watching within Ghana. Thank you so much, Tamale, for always watching out for us. And then followed by Takrade. Thank you so much, Takrade. And then Accra. Yeah. All right, so we're going to continue with our conversation, and please keep your comments coming in. And as we continue, now I want to link you to a video. But before I link you to that video, she was saying something to us, the lawyer. She said that once you are a victim of any sort of abuse, you need to call the police. You do not need to take it lightly at all, because once it starts very small, it's going to continue to increase. So if you do not voice out, you find yourself in a situation where you can no longer take it, and you could even lose your life. We have a video that I want to show to you right now. We saw it actually on Facebook, and we thought it will actually get our story out. So please enjoy this video, and we'll be right back.
We had an argument last night, and he said a lot of cruel things that really hurt my feelings, but I guess he's sorry because he got me these flowers today. I got flowers today. No, it's not our anniversary or any other special day. Last night he threw me into a wall. And choked me. And then beat me till I passed out. I woke up bloody and bruised all over. It was actually a nightmare. I guess he is sorry though, because I got these flowers today. I got flowers today. No, it's not Mother's Day or any other special day. Last night he beat me again and again and again. It was worse, much worse than any other day before. He wanted to sleep with me, and I'm on my period, so I wasn't up for it. A couple of kicks, punches to the face, and he had his way. I got flowers today, and today is actually a very special day. It's the day of my funeral. Last night he beat me to death. If only I had the courage and the strength to leave him, maybe I wouldn't have gotten flowers today.
All right, that's rather very sad. And if you're watching this right now, is that your story? You do not want to end up like this lady in the video. So we are telling you right now, you need to make a move. You have to do something about it. Speak up and get help. Because once you're alive, there is hope. So now coming back to you ladies, Ayanna, you know, we saw the part where the lady was giving flowers when, you know, after the beating. So she stayed back believing that things were going to work out, you know. And all the time people keep saying, but why doesn't the girl leave?
Yeah.
If they keep beating her, why does she stay? But we would say here, why doesn't the abuser also stop? You know, so it's not always about, oh, okay, if he's not doing, you leave. But you, abuser, you also have to stop.
Of course.
You don't have to continue abusing the person.
Yeah.
But society always makes women feel like if you leave, then you are a failure.
Yeah.
How come you couldn't stay? Sometimes we say because of our children and all of that. What would you have to say? What would you say about the story we just watched right now and how the abuser is so manipulative all the time?
Well, it really saddens my heart, and then it gets me so angry. So angry because I know that you're right about the abuser has to stop and all that. But I think that the victim also has to do something. You know, there's this account they say, one kasa you know, so you're the one going through the suffering. And the reason why I get angry is that, you know, there's something I said on my page, that our grandmothers, the women of old, I assume that, you know, those days women were not allowed to go to school. Women were not allowed to go to school. All you do is to stay with your parents. You are taught how to cook. And the only thing you gain as the grand prize is for a man to come and marry you.
Off.
It's like that is your major aim in life. But today's woman, today is different with today's woman. Today's woman is allowed to go to school. Today's woman is competing with a man, like in terms of job opportunities and everything else. So I don't understand why today's woman will allow herself go through something like that. I understand, I get you, that why the abuser must stop. But you are the one suffering the pain. You cannot use your children as an excuse. I mean, that is an excuse our grandmothers can use. Because as I said, they didn't have anything. Our grandmothers, if they needed anything, their husbands must buy for them. But today's woman is empowered. She's doing something. The world has changed. You cannot use your children. Even today, the children we are bringing up, they see everything. Like our kids are so intelligent. They pick up stuff. So you are living in a house where your husband is beating you up, insulting you anyhow. Your daughter, your son is watching. And what you are teaching that child is like, it's a cycle. The child grows up and becomes an abuser because of that thing. And
expects that his spouse also stays and accepts
of course,
it because
that
the
is
mother
the example
stayed
the mother gave. So we are not just doing a disservice to ourselves as women, we are also doing a disservice to our children. So me, I'm angry with the victim in the sense that you cannot stay. Why would you allow somebody to do that to you? Why would you allow someone to degrade you that low? As I said before, our mothers, I mean, like, it's an excuse. They didn't really go to school. They didn't know much. Your husband is your Lord mirror. You know, as we say, when we are even serving him food, you have to bow. I mean, those things have changed. Now women are holding high, even presidents. Women are becoming, I mean,
well, that's
so we
very
are
true.
empowered now.
So what would you want to
understand.
say about this video we just watched right now?
Some women actually condone this abuse because they are not economically powered.
Okay.
And they feel, for instance, that who will take care of me when I leave? Because they have been so used to being taken care of by their husband. And sometimes in such domestic relationships, there may be such agreement as to be a housewife and I will take care of you. And so because the person is financially dependent on the man, it becomes difficult to just break free because they feel, for instance, like, what do I have? I don't have anything. I'm with this man and I'm totally dependent on this person, my children. What do I do when I move? But this is the deal. You need to leave regardless. Because if you don't leave, this is the situation that happened to Lillian. And what we have seen in this video, you could die. And who do you think will take care of your children? If you were thinking that you cannot leave because you can't take care of the children, then the law is telling you that the man will still have to maintain them. So leave. The law is telling you that fight for your own right because you cannot allow somebody to do that to you. That's why the law specifically said you cannot even consent to be abused. So even if somebody says, you know, there are instances in this typical situation where the woman go like, "Babami, come and beat me," and then the man uses the manhood on the woman. So even if the woman says, "Babami," you still don't have the right. And you, the woman, don't be afraid that you cannot stand alone. Would you manage being dead? So you can still stand alone, and the law has protection for you. And let me mention also that when you are removed, as part of the process, you are taken for help. And they provide psychological assistance, legal, they provide the basic assistance until the person is able to be on their feet. Like I'm saying, most of the people who fall victim are people who are not economically powered. And even those who are economically powered, a few are able to move on from there and settle off their lives and live. Others who are not empowered, when they come to there's a foundation, Helpers Foundation. When through the processes you are taken to the Helpers Foundation, you will be given vocational training. I mean, the government through various agencies have been able to come with this youth employment. They've come up with the entrepreneurship support. There is this support for small scale enterprises. Maslock is available. So you can always step out and do something for yourself. Because you cannot say, because I am financially dependent on this person, I will go on and take the abuse. And mind you that these people also, they go into the mind of their victims. They actually choose their victims. They choose you, they choose your kind of mindset. They know you are emotionally weak. They go into your mind and they twist your emotions. And so like we have seen in the video, for instance, this woman, she consoles herself with the flowers she's giving, because that is what the man thinks can identify with the woman. So anytime he abuses her, he gives her flowers, and she thinks he loves me. Oh my but God. How is this love anyways? How does somebody who loves you hit you? The moment a person can hit you, they stop loving you. Because anything that we care for, we cherish it. We adore it. You don't want to hurt it. No person will want to break their own fingers, isn't it? Because you feel the pain yourself. So any person who loves you will not put you in harm's way. Because nobody can tell which of the beatings will kill you. Are we able to tell whether a slap can make somebody fall and die? No, but it does. And so there's no excuse that he just slapped me once. Hello, he slapped you once, he will do it again. And the next he will hit you, you are on the floor. And only God knows what will happen to you when you fall. And so you don't put your life in somebody's hands in the name of marriage, in the name of relationship, in the name of baby father. If we break away, he will not take. No, the law has provision for maintenance. So if you are with somebody and you are holding on because of children, leave.
Okay, that's well noted.
Can I say
something? Okay, please.
And I want to say something about the women not being empowered. I don't think that is the problem. The reason why I'm saying that is that you just go around. It looks like these days it's the women who are rather taking care of the homes.
Of course, globally, women, African women are really taking.
Things have changed.
But now we still cannot take away the other factor,
yeah,
which is the number that are still not empowered.
Yeah.
And these people have become vulnerable. And like I said, it's not just the economic empowerment, but even emotional. They take control of your emotions. They make you become so reliant on them emotionally, you refuse to think. Even when somebody advises them or...
Go and tell the man.
No, they quickly go and report this. and I was discussing you with this friend, and this friend even said you are evil.
Yeah, I get that picture so much. But since we've talked about empowerment, I would like us to watch a video that has been put together by our third guest who could not join us because we have to follow the social distancing protocol that has been announced by presidency. And this person is Princess Sechiri B. She is the founder of Intelligent Woman and also is an empowerment advocate, a women's empowerment advocate. She's put something together for those of us who who are considering ways to empower ourselves. Let's watch this.
Thank you for having me. My name is Princess Achebi, media communications consultant and founder of the Intelligent Lady Network, a women empowerment brand that inspires and equips women of the next generation of women in business and leadership. The issue of domestic violence is a very disturbing one. Last 2 weeks, we heard of issues of 2 women who passed on because they were abused by their partners. It's a very disturbing issue. Therefore, empowerment is very important. Empowering the woman to know who she is very important. And it always starts, empowerment of a woman starts with knowing who she is, knowing the value she has. The issue of self-concept, which has 2 aspects, the self-esteem and self-image. So a woman must know that she's valuable. She's just not someone to be tossed about, to be beaten, to be just disrespected. She must know who she is and must carry herself in that way and in that manner. Demanding respect, for who she is as a woman, okay? Of course, if you're in a relationship or if you're in a marriage, you're a helpmate, you're supposed to help your partner in doing everything, but it's supposed to be a mutual respect, honoring each other, loving each other, as the Bible always says. There shouldn't be an occasion where one feels is more superior than the other, therefore has the right to beat you or to abuse you emotionally. It's not right. So the woman must know who she is, and she must also know that she has certain abilities and certain potential and qualities in her that makes her valuable. Okay, and these abilities, potential must be developed. So it brings me to my next point of adding value to yourself. So you have to add value to your potential, add value to the skills and abilities you have so that it can bring in something for you. Okay, you may have a nice idea of perhaps starting a business or have an idea of perhaps starting a crèche or something that will add value to you, that will bring in some source of income, some sort of money. Therefore, so that you don't have to totally depend on the man for everything. In such instance, when you're being abused, it's quite difficult for you to step out because you're wondering how you'll be able to take care of yourself, how you'll be able to take care of family, and how you'll be able to take care of, survive without the man. So it's very important that you know who you are, you add value to yourself, and then earn some form of income as well. You should have a very strong network of friends, female friends, who will encourage you as well, and you feel easy and free speaking too. Whenever you are being abused in a relationship, you should be confident and free to talk about it. Don't be shy about it. Be confident.
Welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. So I went over to our comment section, and one comment actually struck me, and this comment is coming straight from the Western region, and it says, to report to who? You will be sad if you report. To take the matter to the police the first day, you will not hear anything anymore. So this goes to say that part of the reason why some people probably are not reporting is because they actually don't trust the system. They feel that when they report, it wouldn't really go well with them. That's actually why they are not, interested in making the report. And I'm sure this comment came in after the fact that Martina said that the first point of call is for you to call the police, because that is how it's supposed to be. So what would you want to say about this, Martina, since you are the one on the side of the law here?
Yes, so don't be discouraged because of that. They are still the people you should go to. Report to the police. Report and keep reporting till something is done about your situation. We are dealing with stigma. Most people do not go to family because they are not sure how family will treat it. Because this is the instant cases where people kind of, no, you cannot come home. You just went to marry. Why are you coming home? Divorce is like a no-no in our society. People cannot just say, I am divorced because I left because my husband was mistreating me. But it's high time we make divorce the new normal. It's okay if people are in a marriage relationship and it's not working, they walk out. There shouldn't be any stigma placed on anyone. It's a free entry, free exit institution. Simple. If you go in and you think that for the purpose in which you went in, it's not serving that purpose, leave. Why do you have to leave? Why shouldn't you leave, actually? Because a lot of perception has been created by some religious leaders, and even a perception from our own circle that marriage is a God-ordained institution, and for that matter, for better, for worse. No, for better, for worse, in the balance of religiosity, it's not about for better, for death. The worst is that you should be able to live with each other in a very conducive way. So the moment you cannot tolerate each other and the abuse comes in, then you must leave. I don't think that God will let you sign up for a marriage that will kill you. That is ungodly. So don't stay in a marriage and die. Don't stay in a marriage and somebody has the audacity to abuse you just because you want to please society with, I am married. It is not an achievement. If it happens to you, fine. If it doesn't, if you see right in the relationship that this is not going anywhere for me, leave. There's no way people encourage marriage when they know that what I am on is dangerous.
Okay. Because
there's an instant case of a relationship. So if somebody can abuse you in a relationship for you to die, just imagine. So it means that this didn't just start. It kept on. But she was encouraging herself in the Lord. Praying. My sister, this is not praying matter. If somebody is mutilating you, somebody is killing you, somebody is abusing you physically, emotionally, mentally, economically, sexually, you are suffering. I mean, nobody must subject you to any form of torture, any form of undignified living, any form of inhuman living. So if you are living with somebody in such relationship, whether married or that you are in that relationship by virtue of your children, and the person is subjecting you to any form of torture, please, please, don't encourage that. Leave. Report immediately. Even if you have concerns that the police will not take it immediately as a comment came in, keep on until something happens for you. Just the way we pray till something happens. So keep on till something happens for you. And luckily, with the nature of society we have now, it's easy to draw media attention to your concerns. That this is my concern, and I'm having this challenge. And I know that with this platform that these discussions are going on, the police will also step up their game when it comes to this. Because the law says, protect me. When I come to you with an abuse case, whether the person slapped me one time, twice, or whatever, if I come to you, the law says protect me.
Thank you very much.
So don't tell me that, oh, but he just slapped you once. I know that people have this concern a lot, that if I go to the police station, they'll go like, now kuna bo asom bakope na onama. Wabani bakope so would you know which of the slaps will kill the person? So you equally hold the person's life in your hands. If you keep encouraging them, and the friends and family that encourage people to stay in abusive relationship, you are encouraging them to stay to their death.
And on that very passionate note, I'd like to say that this is your final word, I guess, because you became really passionate, and that is actually what this whole thing is about. We really want people to say enough is enough. Ayanna, please, do you have some final words before we wrap up for the day?
So I'll say that, like she mentioned, it's a societal problem. That's what I think. Our culture, the culture where the husband is mirror. I don't have a problem. I mean, if he's the love of your life and you call him mirror, you have to go to. I mean, it's nice. But not where it is, we have trained the men that the man is told, a man is told that he's here and the woman is here. And so, you have, I mean, that kind of cultural thing that has entered us, it must leave. And we don't have a supportive system. like a women support group. I don't know if there's something like that.
Oh,
in
there's
this
so
country.
many
I
of
think
them.
No,
there
there are,
women-
but maybe they are more like foundations. But like maybe there's a place where if you are being abused, maybe there's a place, like the way there's a hospital you can just walk into.
I
yeah,
think
there
that
is.
we have Ghana Legal Aid. So if you're having issues, you can, and you think you cannot go to the police, you can go to the legal
So,
aid.
Yeah, even DOFSU is there, and
Yeah.
even the
DOFSU,
Ministry of
and
Gender
then,
is there as
yeah,
well.
it's important that we mention DOFSU.
Yeah.
That the DOFSU unit is within the police department,
Okay.
and they take up domestic cases, and there's a whole complex structure on how the procedure, how they go about it, because the complaints might be a minor one, or I mean, so they deal with it on case by case basis. They
Thank
don't
you
lump-
very much, ladies. If we go on and on, we're not going to end. But right now, my colleague is right on my neck because he needs to come in for the late night celebrity show. The repeat broadcast of this show is coming up on Saturday at 12 noon. So if you missed any portion, please look out for it. It's also going to be on our YouTube page and also on Facebook at ETV Ghana. Thank you very much, Awo, for my beautiful hair. Thank you. If you need something as beautiful as this, find Awo on Instagram and Facebook at Awo's Hair. So do enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you. Bye-bye.